Chris Salvador with the news that Buffy is going to be rebooted. I was just as shocked and kind of amazed that they would do this without Joss Whedon. And then I kind of realized, well, after thinking of some stuff, I thought, because I'm such a huge fan of Buffy and I love the television series, and I think Angel and all the stuff that's going on, everything that they created is amazing. I think this reboot is necessary. But I think this reboot does the same way that Star Trek. If you want to do it successfully, you have to acknowledge that world, the same way that Star Trek did. You can't just completely start new because there's nowhere to start from. Everything that could possibly have worked or been created came out of those seasons. There's nothing that you can... you can't start and kind of go, this is Xander girl, or this is Willow guy, or this is Giles X person. To reboot it and to think that the fans who are going to pay to go see this and to piss off that fan base is ridiculous. And I don't think Vertigo and the people who own the rights to the first Buffy want to do that. I think they're just saying now is the time where we need to do something with this property in Buffy. Now, for fans out there, this is a plea. This isn't me just kind of saying this is. I came up with some stuff. I came up with some suggestions. Just thinking now today, and thought, how can we get this to work so that it isn't a complete and utter total piece of garbage? And I thought, well, you are the same way that William Shatner was not involved in Star Trek. I think it's the same thing here, where it's like Sarah Michelle Gellar is not going to be involved as Buffy the same way. That doesn't mean that it can't be acknowledged or there can't be, things in the background. But I do think that what Vertigo is trying to say is, look, we can't just release Sarah Michelle Gellar, new Buffy movie. You and I will love it. We'll love it. There's no we'll watch it and we'll go pay to see it. But if you want it to get the budget that a high-profile movie, something like Wolverine gets, and have a really good May opening or June opening, 2 years or 3 years from now, we can't market it on Sarah Michelle Gellar and the television series, and I get that, and I understand why, because it's a new generation, it's a new. My sister doesn't know shit about Buffy. I have family here who's not going to sit there and invest the time in the DVDs. It's not that they're idiotic people. I will call them idiots to go just watch it. But people. It was its own thing. It was the '90s. It was you can't really. You had to have. They're not going to know the week. That it was on the WB. Then it went on UPN. It was. No one's going to know that stuff. They just sit down and watch it, and it's a straightforward story. Well, it's just a bunch of high school kids who are kind of wise ass, and it's like we love that. But for the average moviegoer, the same way that Star Trek reboot, you have to do that with Buffy. And I feel like this isn't. You guys need to calm down. Don't piss. Stop pissing on it. They haven't announced anything. All they've said. So fans, calm down. Calm the fuck down. You're going to kill something before it even has birth. It's like, calm down. We're just talking about having sex. Everybody's going crazy. It's like, well, come on. Nobody said that we can't have an orgasm here, so let's just calm down and focus on how we get that orgasm. Now, it's very simple. Yes, I'm going to tell you. I wanted to kind of save some things. I came up with some stuff, and I was like, okay, well, basically what you need is a really unique writer that is working in all these comics and working in the universe. And I think Brian Lynch, nobody knows, but the fans do. I think Brian Lynch is the guy to write this. I think it's kind of early to think about directors. But if we're going to go with a director, we shouldn't go with Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon should be involved, like a Jerry Bruckheimer. But I think that if we need a director, and you're all going to think I'm going to say me, right? You think I'm just some little... No. I think... And I've got the perfect... this is perfect for, who that Buffy lead should be. It's perfect. It's so beyond this girl. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, oh my god, this chick, I don't want to spoil it, but like, she is so, it's nobody that you know. It's not Kristen Stewart or, you know, Megan Fox or, you know, any of those, you know, it's not Jessica Stroop or any of the CW kind of people. I say that with a laugh because there is something there. But this chick is I think that if you're going to write the franchise around, it has to be a girl, it has to be a heroine. Definitely, this chick is the chick to do it. So, and it's just some stuff here. But basically, as a director, Neil Blomkamp, or Neil Blomkamp, who was supposed to make Halo with Peter Jackson, and is coming out with a movie now. I think it's District something. I don't know the number. I want to say District 69. But it's District 9 or something. I think this is the guy, if we're going to reboot this, and we're thinking about, and the people who own the property, if you're thinking about just making money, because you want to come up with a great, story and premise and characters, but your main goal now, it seems, is, well, this is the time where vampires are big, and we got to jump on this. Let's bring Buffy back. Well, I think there's a way to bring it back with Neil Blomkamp and Brian Lynch writing, and I think we might have, and this chick, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm trying to talk to Brian Lynch about it. I'm trying to get the guy, because this guy's hilarious. I mean, like I said, it's not about me and me writing or doing something. It's like, I've always thought Brian Lynch was hilarious, and I think he's one of those writers that he's been kind of, in the dark, so to speak. And Kevin, you see him in Kevin Smith stuff sometimes, like as a background. But I think this guy can blow up in a big way, the same way that Blomkamp. I think the connections are there, and he's, friends with the Whedonverse. He knows the Whedonverse. He writes these Angel Spike comics. I think this is the connection we need. We need Neil Blomkamp, Brian Lynch, and I don't want to spoil it, but this chick, definitely. So, I'm trying, please, we're just at a sex stage, trust me. I love Buffy. This is totally something that I feel, if we fans just have a little trust, and, we just get those discussions going, we might have a kick-ass Buffy movie, rebooted, everybody's gonna be happy. So, please don't fuck it up. Everybody just, let's get into the talks, and let's not fuck that up by getting angry. We're at this stage. Let's see if we can use it as a springboard to bring new fans in and kick ass and sell the old DVDs and get Buffy back on Blu-ray. Hello, we're going to get Buffy on Blu-ray. It's all going to be great. We're going to bring it all back, and it's going to kick ass. So, and possibly some other project, Serenity, might come back. So come on, they're talking about it. It's up to us to come up with some cool stuff. I've got some stuff that I know. It's just a matter of Neil Blomkamp getting that vision, getting that writer, and just getting it going. So please, Buffy fans, this reboot is not a bad idea. It's probably the best damn, shock to the system that we need. The voltage, it's the hammer of Thor, the electricity that we need. We just need the pound. And, this is going to, like Star Trek, bring Buffy to everybody and please everyone. So please don't fuck it up.